than 6% of your followers see your social media posts. We could be emailing a person for a solid 6 months before they even come into the salon and make a purchase. 3% of your audience are in buy now mode. Meta's going to love you for it.
We can cut your workload by more than half. Have you ever been scrolling on Instagram and been asked to comment like a word or an emoji, and then when you do, you automatically get sent a message with a guide or a booking link or something useful? I know you've probably got one from me, right? I used to do them all the time. Do them all the time. But what if I told you that a simple automated message will actually help turn your followers into lifelong clients? Because when you're having a conversation with someone in the DMs, even if part of the conversation was automated, you're building a relationship with a potential client, and they get to know you and your salon. Even if they're not ready to book an appointment right now, you're in the back of their mind as a salon that they need to do business with sometime in the future. Because the reality is it could take talking to someone for 6 months before they book an appointment, which is why you need automated chats. And because of that, I'm really excited to be chatting with Georgia from Salon Bot about how to turn followers into lifelong clients. Really quick, before we start, I wanted to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Shortcuts, your leading salon software provider. Shortcuts have an exclusive for salon owners who are listening to the Salon Owners Collective podcast, which I'll be sharing with you later on in the episode. Okay, let's get into the episode with Georgia. Here is turning followers into lifelong clients. Georgia, thank you so much for joining me on the Salon Owners Collective podcast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually really crazy excited to be here today.
So you and I go quite far back in the early days of building Salon Owners Collective. I came to a point where I needed some help managing and building my websites and graphic design. We were starting to elevate beyond my capacity to do the stuff, and I wanted someone professional. And you and I found you on Fiverr.
That's correct.
Just randomly,
Many years
who can
ago.
help? Many years ago, pre-COVID, and we got on like a house on fire. You're exceptionally good at web design and doing
Thank
those
you.
things. And so we worked together for a couple of years, didn't we?
That's correct. We worked together, I think, almost maybe 4 to 6 years.
Oh, golly,
Yeah,
that's
quite some
quite a
time.
long time.
I know.
We go way back, Georgia.
We do.
In any case, so you were kind of just part-time contracting to us. You were building your business in the background. And then directly after COVID, we had a done-for-you marketing business called Salon Bot, and that was going really well. My challenge, Georgia, was I was trying to build 2 businesses. Never a good idea. Trying to build Salon Mastery Coaching, and I was doing a done-for-you marketing service called Salon Bot. And I just got to the point and was like, poor Salon Bot, it's taking off, but I just can't give it the love. And you had been loving it and helping me with it in any case. And we just kind of came to the conclusion, didn't we, Georgia? You bought it off me in 2020.
That's exactly right. I mean, you really quite impressed me because you actually introduced me to this entire method of marketing, but it was very much in its infancy and only the early adapters were on board with it. It hadn't really taken off. And because it's so heavily connected to social media and Facebook, now known as Meta, the rules changed a lot and we had to develop it a lot and be very flexible on how this method worked. But when COVID hit, I noticed that salon owners really needed as much help as possible to get their salons up and running again. And that's where you really wanted to focus on holding their hand a little bit more with coaching. I'm the tech nerd, so I was more than happy to take SalonBot on board. And I love it. I absolutely love what I do. It's so much fun. It's really addicting to see the results that we get.
So just to be clear, automated messages using social media marketing. And like you say, it's growing a lot and it felt really aligned with what you were doing with building websites and digital assets for salon owners. And so now you kind of have the whole suite. But I thought it would be really great to get you here on the podcast and actually talk about message marketing, automated messages, and actually using direct messages to do marketing, because social media is great, but to get them off the platform and off the scroll and into the business, kind of sometimes they need a little bit of help. And being able to do smart direct messages is kind of the missing gap. So, can we talk about that today, Georgia?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I kind of think of automated messaging, and for anyone who has no idea what we're talking about, don't worry. By the end of this podcast, it will make so much sense. It's far more simple and less technical than it sounds. So I think of it as the rainbow bridge. It really just takes someone from social media using all that hard work that you're already doing and getting them into the salon. And we call this a chat funnel. It's technically a system that just takes them through the process of stranger to that lifelong client, and automated messages, also known as chatbots or DM automation. It's really just a simple connection to your existing social media.
Yes, agree. And what I love about it is that we can have those really personalized conversations, but we don't have to be stuck on our phone till 11 o'clock at night booking appointments because actually we've got other things that we need to be doing.
That's exactly right, and it does take your existing social media posts and make them significantly more powerful. So everyone has probably seen in their feed someone, giving some really, really tangible advice, something really helpful, and it will say comment keyword below. And so rather than going to a link or going elsewhere, you just simply comment, and that takes you into a very private DM conversation, but it's all completely automated. There's so much that I can talk about here. So there's a few reasons why this really, really works and why you can see I'm so passionate when I talk about this. The first reason is Meta's going to love you for it. Meta wants your audience to stay on their platform for as long as possible. And because you're asking your clients not to leave, open up a browser window, go to this URL, or take all of these long steps to go to your profile, click this link, go elsewhere, they're continuing, they're doing everything. They're literally booking an appointment using your existing booking software through the Instagram app. So it's very non distracting. It keeps people on the platform. And Meta love you for doing this because they want you on the platform for as long as possible.
And just to be clear, Instagram DMs or Messenger
That's
DMs.
correct. So by Messenger, people may be more familiar knowing that as Facebook DMs. Messenger kind of separated and became its own thing. So you've got Facebook Messenger. You can also do it with WhatsApp, but I haven't really quite found that necessary in the beauty industry at this stage. And then, but where we're seeing the most success is Instagram DMs. That's where automated messaging is really, really taking off.
Okay, so for those of you who spend hours trying to reply to questions, quotes, appointments, moving appointments, and sharing your availability and all of those types of things, we can cut your workload by more than half. Would that be a fair comment,
Yes.
Georgia?
I would definitely say that. You can easily set up, I mean, your chatbot can be as simple or as complex as you want. And the simpler, the better in a way. But we can set up lots of different automations where someone will ask you, do you have any appointments available? And you can set up an automated response that guides them through that process. So your chatbot can essentially take away a lot of those frequently asked questions, even if you have them on your website. No one's reading them. We all know that they're always going to come and message you directly. And having a chatbot answering a lot of those is going to save you those 10 p.m. replies where you really should just be relaxing with a glass of wine and enjoying yourself.
Exactly. Let's talk about what is a message funnel.
Yes. So, the way that we see our marketing strategy, we actually take someone through three separate phases. You have the attraction phase, you have the capture phase, and you have the nurture phase. The thing is, we see everybody putting all of their effort just in the attraction phase. So this could be all of your social media posts, it could be literally your website and your SEO. Let's stick with social media for now. Everyone's putting all of this effort into your attraction phase, but neglecting the capture and the nurture phase. And the irony is the attraction phase is the hardest part, and the nurture and the capture is where the money lies. So what we want to do is we want to use our existing social media, our strategy, whether it's just showing people around the salon or a new offer or a giveaway, what have you. We want to get people to message us or comment on our post. This will trigger our automated messaging. We want to take down their details. And then we want to continue the relationship. We like to use email marketing through the nurture phase. So, what we've seen with some of our clients, we could be emailing a person for a solid 6 months before they even come into the salon and make a purchase. For whatever reason, maybe they just saw someone and had a balayage and it looked fine and they just haven't prioritized their self care in 6 months. And it just takes a really long time for them to come into the salon. But because we've nurtured this relationship for a long period, when it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't happy the last time I went with whoever, who will I book with? The person that's been sending me really valuable content and keeping that relationship going without asking constantly for sales, buy my things, just nurturing that relationship in the back end. That's going to subconsciously really create that strong relationship and they're going to contact you. So that's our 3 steps of the funnel. You've got your attraction, your capture, and your nurture.
I love that because you're right. I think there's a mistake that we put an offer out today, um, have some free foils with your cut and color, and not everybody that sees that post today needs their hair colored today, but they might in 4 weeks and they might in 6 weeks. And so, like extending out how wide our circle is of people we can reach and stay in contact with them so they think of us top of mind when they are ready, not when we are ready. It's about them after all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, if we're thinking of the automated messaging, again, I call it the rainbow bridge. We're taking them from that attraction phase, bringing them into the nurture phase. And I'm totally nerding out, but I've got a little book open here. This is called Sell Like Crazy by Sabi Subi. And he talks about something that's called a large market formula. 3% of your audience are in buy now mode. So if we're sending out a post, that's tiny. That's 97% of people of your audience that are being a little bit neglected or just aren't ready. So if we're saying we have an offer available, here's our special deal, this is only speaking to 3%. Those who haven't been to the salon for a while and they're ready to come in and they're ready to buy right now. Because let's face it, it can take people between, say, 12 weeks to 6 months before visits. So not everyone is ready for that buy now moment. You've got 17%, the next 17% are in information gathering mode. So they know maybe they're starting to look a bit dowdy and they know it's time to come in soon.
Hey, Larissa here, just popping in the middle of this episode because I wanted to check, one, are you enjoying this episode so far? It's pretty good, eh? And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me each week on this podcast, but super quick, I wanted to share some exciting news with you. Your leading salon software has an exclusive offer for you. And if you're listening to this Salon Owners Collective podcast episode, which clearly you are, hello, they are offering you implementation and onboarding of any of their salon software packages for free, only for you. Whether you need an all-in-one software to manage your business or you want to switch from your current salon software, Shortcuts is going to help you out. Now, you could save anywhere from $400 to $700 depending on the package that best suits your salon. So if you're excited, need software, wanted to change your software, I have the link for you in the show notes of this very episode. I'll pop the details there on how you can implement Shortcuts into your salon and get the exclusive Salon Owners Collective podcast offer just for you. All right, that's enough for me. Let's get back to the episode.
Then you've got 20% of people who are problem aware. I'm really dowdy, but I haven't even begun looking for a salon yet, or haven't even thought about booking an appointment yet. And then you have 60%. That is a huge chunk of people who are just completely neglecting their self-care, they're not even realizing that, because they're not putting their physical appearance, not making it a priority, it's holding them back from their career or from what they're doing in the community. And it's really hurting their self-esteem. They're not even aware that by coming into the salon, it can give them that boost into whatever area of their life. So if we think about our marketing, let's reform it. Let's create this chat funnel that, you know, targets everybody, that helps everybody, regardless of what stage that they're at, and create that relationship in the background so that when it's times to come, they're thinking of us. And it means that we can stop maybe freaking out so much about how many likes we get or how many followers we're getting or how our Facebook ads are responding or what have you, because we know that they're in our system. We know that we're building real relationships with people, and we know that our system is just working for us in the back end.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's what I would call a long-term strategy versus
Yes.
I'm going to put an offer out and I've got an appointment available till tomorrow. That's like a short-term strategy. And we need
Yes.
both, Georgia.
100%, 100%. And again, connecting your chat funnel, or setting up automated messages. Yes, you will get instant results. I'm not interested in instant results. I'm not that sleazy salesperson. They're great, they're amazing, and we do get those results. But we're playing the long game here. We want our salon to be around for a really long time. Maybe we'll sell it in 20 years, and we've got the proof in the pudding to show that we've spent a lot of energy and really, really thought about what we're doing to create a loyal community around our brand and our business.
Yeah, great. I love that. Georgia, any other tips about creating a funnel? What are some other things we need to think about? Or what's a first
Yeah,
step even?
sure. So I'm just going to just keep this simple and stick to, I'm going to talk about Instagram, an Instagram chat funnel. It works with Facebook as well. It can even work with your website if you're being creative. But my first tip is I would want everybody to have a look at the Instagram account and their Facebook page and think, does this, if someone is seeing me for the first time, do they understand who we are, what our values are, where we're located? We want to optimize our page and our account for first time buyers, for people who've seen us for the first time. Um, the reason why is they're probably not going to see you again in 3 months. They're probably going to like your page. They might, see a couple of your posts, and then you're probably going to disappear in the sea of social media content. That's why we need to capture them as quickly as possible and create this funnel. There's a statistic that might make some of your listeners cry. Um, Less than 6% of your followers see your social media posts. That is a heartbreaking statistic when you think of how much work you've, put into your social media accounts to take it from your family, following your business, to the thousands of people that are now following your business. Only 6% are actually seeing what you're doing. So what we want to do is optimize. First step is optimize our page for new people so that when they arrive, they know who we are, what our values are, because most of the people who are going to find your page are going to be new people. It's not going to be, Cindy, who sees you 5 times a year, is hunting you down on social media. It's most likely going to be someone brand new. The next step is to look into a chat funnel. We use a software called ManyChat, and we connect it to our social media. So the next step is looking at creating this chat funnel, connecting these automations so that you can capture those first-time buyers into your funnel. So what could be, if you have a welcome offer, let's make that front and center to tell someone to comment on this post. We have a welcome offer. Then in the DMs, you can send them a question that goes, oh, can you please give us your email address? And we'll send you that welcome offer. Now they're in your funnel. And that's what leads us to the third step, which is prioritizing email marketing. And we can keep emailing them because everybody will always see your emails. They won't always see your posts. And again, I have another statistic here where 99% of email users are checking their inbox every day. Some of them are 20 times a day. And I'm that tech nerd. I know, isn't that shocking? And I'm that tech nerd who is checking my email constantly. So email should definitely be a priority. The best thing about these 3 steps are you're already working so hard creating content on social media. You're doing the hardest part of the job by just putting in step 2 and step 3. We're now making this work. We're now actually turning this into something really, really profitable for your business that can grow on the back end. And really, it's going to take you less than an hour a month because you really just need to email someone once a month to keep that relationship going. Sit down, look at your social media, take your social media, put it into an email, keep that relationship going. It's just the simplest step that will give you the most extraordinary results out of your marketing efforts that you're already doing.
I love that. All right, that's really, really good. Like, this is the no-brainer, guys.
I have to
Georgie,
agree.
yeah, thank you so much for that you broke it down and made it really, really simple and, took the feeling hardness away. Georgia, amazing. I want to make sure that people can find you. But before we do, you're a business owner for a long time. What is a quote or a mantra or something that keeps you sane, focused? I know you're a mum of two small humans.
I am.
Tell me, what is a quote or a mantra that keeps you going?
So I've picked a quote and a mantra. I couldn't help myself. So my quote is from an American business entrepreneur who I've followed for a long time. You're probably aware of Marie Forleo. Her quote is, "Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently." Now, this has become my quote. I've picked it for myself, and I've also picked it for your listeners. I'm struggling with consistency horrifically at the moment because of my two little ones, as well as my elderly parents, running the business. We've just moved house and renovating. No 2 days look the same, let alone 2 weeks. So, my whole year's goal is to look for things that I can do consistently, even if they're really, really small. Focusing on my social media rather than thinking that I have to post 7 times a day. Can I just do something really basic consistently and build that habit up? Another reason why I picked this, and the reason why I picked it for those who are listening, is when I talk about what I do in this method of marketing, even the different campaign ideas that I present, one of the most common objections that I get is, "Oh, I tried that once before and it didn't work for me." That's like, you tried it once. That's not really it's not really an adequate measurable way to understand if this works for you or not. It's kind of like saying I hopped on a bicycle once and I couldn't ride it, so bicycles and I just don't agree. We need to look at
Bicycles
things.
don't work.
They're just not for me because I sat on it once and it just it didn't happen. So we want to look at what we can do consistently, and how, again, it doesn't have to be that overly complicated. How can we simplify it but just keep doing it consistently? For an example, a client of mine, we do the same campaign, same time of year, every year, and we've been doing it for 5 years. And I think this is it's a Black Friday campaign. Every year, we get better and better and better results. People don't get sick of it. We're not changing, throwing everything out and starting from scratch. We're doing the same thing every year. The clients expect it. They look forward to it. They get excited. They learn more about it because, 5 years straight, we're doing the same thing and we're getting better results every time because we're learning from it and making it better every year. It's something that we're doing consistently. So when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to your strategy, look at something small that you can do consistently. That's where the results will fly in. My
Georgia, mic drop.
mantra. I know it is a little bit sorry. My mantra is I just had to share this because it always makes me giggle and it's really arrogant, but I say it all the time. It's it'd be rude not to. It'd be rude not to. If there's something that makes you really nervous, like I hate going on camera. I really want to start doing more Instagram reels. That's a goal for me. But I'm so uncomfortable in front of a camera. And so my mantra is it'd be rude not to. People need to see you. People need to hear what you're doing. It'd be rude not to. Your clients need you. So if you're ever kind of freaking yourself out and talking yourself out of doing something really important that you know is important, but there's just something blocking you, and it's usually your own fear and discomfort, it'd be rude not to. Just remember that. It'd be rude
I
not
love
to.
that. Might borrow that every now and then.
Please do.
Georgia, what is a book, a podcast, or something that you've had your hands on recently that you think all owners need to get their hands on?
um, hmm. So I literally just had this book in my hand. I think it's still relevant for everybody, even though it probably is more relevant towards information salespeople. But I still highly, highly recommend. So it's Sell Like Crazy by Sabri Subi. He's he you'll either love him or hate him. He's a sharp talker. He's comes across a little bit arrogant, but it can also be very humorous in the way that he speaks. And he's one of the hosts from the Australian Shark Tank. But his methods in marketing just make so much sense. I think if it's worth reading just to get an idea of the basics of really just taking care of your customers, talking to your customers, not just doing something because someone told you to do it, and now you're going to try. It's actually making your customers, your clients, part of that decision making process and really creating a relationship with them. So I definitely recommend that. Another resource that I thought I should mention is that I'm in the process of creating a little toolkit, a little starter kit for everybody listening to this podcast. Um, it's literally your first chatbot, your first automated system. So everybody can literally plug and play into ManyChat and give this a try for themselves and see, how it does work for them. So you can see firsthand, how this could really transform what you're doing. And so if you want to get your hands on this free little resource, you can find it at salonbot.com/quick start. So that's QUICKSTART, all one word, salonbot.com/quick start. And I've got a little kit waiting for you.
Amazing. We'll make sure that the link to all of those are in the show notes of this episode. Georgia, I feel like you've kind of given us the double ready, but just do you want to recap? We're going to come and stalk you and find you. Where can we find you?
I'm pretty easy to find. So salonbot.com is where you'll find the agency, the actual chatbot agency. You can also find me at facebook.com/salonbot and instagram.com/salonbot. Absolutely come hunt me down. You'll see, again, my organic social media is something that I'm working on and a little neglected. I'm going to create that consistency by the end of the year. But DM me, reach out, have a chat. I'm always available. And as you can tell, I get pretty animated when I talk about this kind of stuff. So I'm always up for a chat. I'm up for answering any questions.
Georgia, your build and design websites is also georgiadillon.com.
That's correct. georgiadollin.com. Dollin is DOLLIN.com. I am a website designer as well. I'm one of those kind of little unicorns that specializes in lots of different things. So you're welcome to check me out there if you are interested in looking at website designs, as well as brand design, creating a visual appearance to the point where people recognize something simple before they even see your logo.
Great. Something you're very good at, and this is exactly where we met. All right, Georgia,
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming and hanging out. It's been nice to hang out with you and your energy again. Thanks for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
And that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Georgia. It's nice to hang out with you again, and I really loved everything that you had to say about success. If you do something once or every now and again, it will never really help you be successful. You need to do it consistently. Consistency is what builds a brand. Just like you need to be consistent with nurturing your followers and turn them into chat funnels, you want to be successfully converting them into clients. Because if Instagram is only showing our content to 6% of our followers, that's a little bit devastating. We need to be in the DMs with them so we can continue to nurture and build on that relationship. And it's not a lot of extra work, actually, once you've set up a chat funnel. All you need to do is to remember to ask the people to comment on your post and then let the automation do its thing. I really love this way of marketing, for sure, and it's why I started SalonBot in the first place, and I'm really pleased that it is now in good and better hands with Georgia at the helm. Well, I enjoyed this episode with you, Georgia, and if you're ready to get into the DMs with your followers, then reach out to Georgia. You know where to find her. Thanks again, Georgia, for joining me on the podcast, and I will see you same time, same place next week. Ciao for now.